AI can write a 1,000-word article in 10 seconds. The problem is, so can everyone else. And it's the same article, same point, same structure, same facts already sitting on page one. Now, there's a concept from Google's own patents for exactly what's missing: information gain, the net new value your page adds that no one else has. In this video, I'll show you how to plan it, ground it in what only your brand can say, and prove it made it into the draft. Now, let me show you the thinking first. No tools, then how Floyi runs it at scale and checks your work. Now, information gain is two moves: cover everything the topic requires, then say the things only you can say. Here's how to do that. Put your query into Google and open the top 10 ranking pages for your topic. List every claim they make and compare it to the others. The claims two or more of them share, those are your table stakes. Miss them, and your page looks incomplete and Google notices. Now, find what none of them say, the angles nobody covers, and this is where information gain lives. Here's the rule. Your net new angle has to be something you can actually back up. Your own data, your own method, your results. If you invent a fact just to sound different, that's not information gain. If you take facts from other sources, there's no originality there. And if your strongest angle is something you can't back up, that's not a reason to make it up. It's a signal to go get the data, run the test, pull the number, then you can claim it. Doing this by hand across 10 pages, one article at a time, takes 2 to 3 hours before you even write a word. Now here's how Floyi runs the whole loop for you and where it draws the line at inventing facts. This is a content brief for the brand Inbox Pilot on the topic of email deliverability. Let's scroll down a little bit to where Floyi shows you the overlaps for your competitors on core topics, key entities, and the SERP consensus claims. Let's take a look at the claims. Now, these are the claims that multiple competitor pages independently make, each with a source count. You can see here, core infrastructure and authentication remain foundational for deliverability. 5 out of 6 of your top competitors mentioned it. We also have monitor sending metrics, keeping spam complaint rate under 0.1%, and much more. Now, if only one page says it, Floyi filters it out. Only claims where 2 or more pages agree show up here. So these are your table stakes. Cover these or you look like you don't know the topic. But covering only them is not what makes you rank. Everyone covers them, so you got to keep going. This next section is where the real work is. The next section is where the real work is. Now, this is information gain research. Floyi inventoried what the top results already covered. They found net new angles none of them say. Floyi gives you the competitive differentiation strategy that includes unique angle opportunity, competitor content gaps, along with an IG score, information gain score, and AI citation potential. And then we have our opportunities and our blocked opportunities. These opportunity angles are grounded in Inbox Pilot's brand foundation and knowledge base. This case study angle about remediation outcomes and fixes and the before-after case study results from 340 domains, it comes from Inbox Pilot's own data. It's something only Inbox Pilot can credibly claim. So this is the difference. A generic AI writer would pad the article with more of the same generic advice. Floyi's pulling angles that are true to this specific brand and nobody else. That's grounded information gain. Now here's the part I most want you to see, because this is what separates a tool that helps you from a tool that quietly lies to you or happens to skip the steps entirely. The blocked opportunities here. Floyi found the strongest unique angles for this topic for your brand. For example, mailbox provider and domain age outcome data from Inbox Pilot monitoring. No competitor has that data. it would be one of the most valuable things on the page and in the SERPs. But nothing in Inbox Pilot's brand foundation or knowledge base backs it up yet. So watch what Floyi doesn't do and what it does do. It does not make up data here. It flags it as a blocked opportunity and marks it as needing your data. It's telling me this angle is gold, but I will not invent the numbers for you. Think about what most AI tools would do here. They would confidently generate fake industry benchmarks and you would publish them. This is where Floyi draws the line. No fake data and hallucinated proof. To add that data, all we do is click the Add Data button here, give it real numbers, choose where that information goes, and it gets added to the brief as a required content point and into the next draft as a grounded target. Now it's information gain because it's backed with real data. So the brief planned the gain and refused to fake it. The last question is whether the draft actually delivered it. And that's the other half of the loop. So the content brief planned what only Inbox Pilot can say, and it refused to invent what Inbox Pilot couldn't back. Here's a draft it produced. The only question left is, did the writing actually deliver the gain, or did it drift back into the same generic advice everyone else publishes? Let's head back into Floyi and view an article draft that was generated. Let's head over to the Page Quality tab that reviews the drafts based on Google Patents. Here's the information gain verification section. It checks which of the net new angles from the brief actually made it into the draft and how much of the page still just restates what ranking pages already cover. This is the proof. It shows me exactly which angles landed with the quote from my own draft. I can click it and jump right to that section. The industry remediation outcomes data from the brand's knowledge base and case study are in the draft, verified right here. Let's see. Yep. Aggregate remediation data across 340 outbound sending domains. Now, this information gain sits inside a 5-dimension page quality judge that reads the whole page. Google Patents describe relevance, content quality, information gain, call to action, trust, and authorship. But for this workflow, information gain is the one that matters, and it's confirmed. That's the whole loop. Plan the gain in the brief, ground it in what only your brand can say. Refuse to fake what you can't back, then verify the draft actually delivered it. That's the difference between content that sounds like everyone else and content only you could have published. Let me give you one thing to do tonight. No tools required. So every AI tool can cover the table stakes. That's the easy half. And it's the half that sounds like everyone else. The half that ranks and gets cited is the part only you can say, grounded in your own data and never invented. So tonight, take your best performing page or your worst performing page and ask one question. What's on it that no competitor could have written? If the answer is nothing, that's your next rewrite. Add the one thing only you can say. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Subscribe for weekly content strategy and topical authority workflows. See you in the next one.